Hey everybody, what is going on? It's Bill with Franklin Loan Center, and today's topic is completely coming out of a conversation I had with someone yesterday, and it just really got me thinking about, the point they were making is look, why wouldn't I just leave my money in the stock market when when with the returns that I'm getting there, when real estate's only going up, or whatever that looks like, right? And I was like, oh, okay, so maybe there's some validity to that. And by the way, look, I'm not here to say that you shouldn't have some money in stocks, right? I mean, that's not the point here. But I do want to make sure that people are thinking about their returns on real estate in the right way, right? Because that is true, right? I mean, let's just say real estate goes up by even just 4% a year, right? So if I buy a house today for $800,000 and it goes up by 4%, or it's worth 4% more next year. Now it's worth $832,000. I made $32,000, right? So made $32,000. You don't make anything until you sell it, but let's just use that as an example. So, and it's like, well, is that exciting? And the answer is, because it's only a 4% return, you'll probably do better in the S&P index. But the thing is you didn't pay cash for this thing, right? So let's say you put, I don't know, just pick 10% down on the house, right? So you put $80,000 in it, you got $32,000 back. That's about a 45% actual return on cash, right? And that's just the first year. So let's run this out. And I say this all the time, right? But the real magic in real estate is over time, right? So I just thought about, I was thinking of a scenario of, I've got a client that bought a house in at the very beginning of 2019. And paid roughly $500,000 for the house and put 10% down. So he put $50,000. Yes, he's got closing costs, but just keep it simple. He put $50,000 down. Today, that house, like model matches for that house, are selling in the $800,000 range, right? So there's $300,000 in equity there, or $300,000 in gain theoretically against a $50,000 investment, right? So of course it's going to cost money if you want to sell it, and that's one thing that's really important. That's a very different between stocks and real estate. Stocks are really liquid; you can sell them today, and it costs minimal, right? Or where real estate takes time to sell everything. So I don't want to ignore that in this conversation, but it is really important, right? So let's just say that $300,000 in equity, let's say it cost $50,000 to sell it. So now it's only $250,000 in equity, right? That's still a 500% return on the money since 2019. It's a pretty freaking good return after expenses, right? So, and look, I mean, I'm talking 10% down. If you're buying actual investment properties, you're probably going to put 20% or more down. But it's the leverage that I think people ignore, right? Okay, so fine, 4.5%, not a very exciting return. But it makes a big difference when you look at what's your actual cash on cash return, right? And then the other part about investment properties that gets really exciting is there's also probably an actual monthly cash flow off of it as well, which plays into the whole thing. So I guess, look, I mean, I'm the first to say real estate investment's not for everybody. I wholeheartedly believe in it myself, but look, I mean, everybody's got their own strategies. But I just want to make sure that people are thinking about it right. You've got to do the leveraged return on investment, not just the full equity. The property is going to appreciate at the same rate, regardless of how much you put down. So anyway, just some food for thought this week. I am Bill. I'm with Franklin Loan Center, and I will see you all next week. And by the way, anyone wants to kind of play with these numbers, has some money burning a hole in their pocket and wondering where to spend it, let's think about that. And happy to run numbers. Talk to you soon.